I've hit level 100 and I feel like this is where the fun really begins, because our skills keep unlocking and you can find the orange colored loot, which is stronger than anything else. I've already found a few pieces. This helmet alone reduces damage taken by 18%, plus another 12% down below. That's just a helmet, so I need to find an entire set of orange stuff. At this point, the regular red tech stuff I don't even look at, I just sell it right away if I even bother to pick it up. But before I get carried away, let's evaluate our power currently, the final boss. And this is of course now on legendary difficulty, but as you can see, we're doing some damage. On regular enemies, our lightning hits can go up to hundreds of thousands. But for the most part, nothing here can really hurt me anymore. It can do a little bit of damage, but I don't kill it particularly fast. Even standing in the fire it shoots out doesn't really hurt me. No challenge whatsoever. And the best loot it can offer me is a red thing that I'm not even going to pick up. Just kidding, I actually am, because it's similar to my current armor, but it adds lightning damage. That's extra damage overall. I'm kinda gonna use the final boss as a measuring stick for myself. As I get stronger, we'll see how much easier it becomes to kill him. For adding skills for now, I'm gonna add to movement speed. Pretty soon we get 5% damage reduction. I also found a sketchy weirdo who sold me chests for millions of dollars each, so I'm thinking these are probably going to be pretty good. I spent millions of dollars on a pink item and a red item. Anyways, for now I'm just going to grind through a few familiar areas that tend to drop a lot of loot, hoping for more orange items. This is also going to be a great measure of strength. So if I pick the elite dungeon anomaly, I have 3 dungeons, then a boss, but I can stack the difficulty up for higher rewards. If I can put it all the way up to here, well, we'll get 7.6 million % monster health and 20,000% damage. And that's very exciting to me because that means we can go really big if we find the right gear. Before I get started with any of that, I do want to try and upgrade this because I think I'm going to have it for a while. For example, I can use Lifeguard, which reduces my damage by 19%. Now it's 20%. All it takes is the things I find everywhere along the way. I've just bumped it from 18% damage reduction to 31. I'm going to do the same thing to its 11% lightning damage. That's going to go up until it gets too expensive to do so. 25% lightning damage. And then we're going to reduce damage from indirect sources and debuffs by, let's say, 20%. And then while I'm at it, it has 2 empty sockets. So we're going to throw 2 lightning resistance gems, so it gets an extra 20% lightning resistance. And then I'm quickly going to add damage resistance to a few other orange items. And there we go, so the more crap I pull out of these, the more I can upgrade my gear and find gear. I'm going to try Mythic for 1800% health, 800% damage, plus 25 resistancy. When I first tried to do this, I couldn't. They would absolutely destroy me right away, but so far so good, they're doing very little damage. Even those few little upgrades I just made have done a world of difference to my power. After killing a group of giant idiots, there is 1 orange item lying on the ground. And luckily for me, it is an amulet, so we've already upgraded 1 item. And I really like this one because it's part of a set. If I get both pieces of the set, that stacks all of my other elementals into lightning. One of the problems defining the true legendary gear is that you can't gamble for it. I've literally got to farm it out of enemies. But look how tough I am though. Even standing in the middle of all these, they can hurt me, but not by a ton. Wasn't paying attention for a second, but something actually killed me. And that just means we still need better loot. A few minutes later, another level up, so now we get our 5% damage reduction. That's further going to help keep me alive. Then look what we can start stacking after that, lightning damage. Alright, I just added a ton of lightning damage to both of these, so I want to try the final boss already. Because while our gear might not have changed that much already, our damage should have gone up quite a bit, and already we're seeing a noticeable difference. He's already down to about 3/4 health. I'm seeing the occasional hit for about 900,000 damage, so that's way more than it was before. Gonna be 1 million pretty soon. So we're making progress. That little bit of power increase should be enough to get me through this as long as I'm paying attention. Which, to be honest, is always going to be my limiting factor. And in case you're curious to see what the boss of this anomaly looks like, luckily he's not doing a ton of damage to me because I can't really do a ton of damage to him. His health is going down, but it's going to be a bit of a long fight. And he's dead, which leaves me with a chest, which should give me something. And not a single orange item. Making my way through the anomaly and my skill leveled up, so now I get an extra 3% lightning damage per level, so I'm gonna watch my damage stack up really fast from this point forward. And for the first time ever, I'm gonna get a 500 kill streak. There it is. Haven't done that one yet. I definitely got lucky in these dungeons that the enemies are all so close together, so the streak just keeps going. There's 550. I'm more worried about the streak now, so I'm worried I'm going to be overlooking loot, but once this level's done, I'm going to go back through it all. There's 600. We've broken 700 and still going strong. I got 73,000 experience for that. I lost the streak at a little over 700. Another boss defeated, our reward, a whole bunch of glowies. Unfortunately seeing mostly pink things, but we'll take our runestone because eventually those are gonna come in handy. And I just increased some of my damage once again through augmenting, so my lightning damage is up to 328%. Several rounds of this area later and I still haven't found another orange item, so I'm probably gonna go back to the anomalies because they do have a higher chance. But it is kind of fun just sitting here because nothing can really hurt me and they're very easy to kill. And I'm even going to turn this bad boy up by 1 level. That means monsters now have 4,200% health and 50% more damage than they did last time. But that's also a higher chance to find the orange items. And so far so good really. I think my damage resistance is high enough right now that I should be able to do this. So I'm definitely tough enough to survive this. It's just I could use more damage so that it doesn't take so long to get through it. Yep, so after diving into here, I realized it would have been much faster to stay where I was, killing easier enemies for less chance of better items, but it would be so much quicker still. Because everything here takes 10 minutes to kill. At least it's still very satisfying to run around shocking everything to death. 80 hours later, I've finally made it to the boss. At least he's the kind of guy holding a bow and arrow, so he should be fairly weak, though look at that health, not going down super quick. At least he's also not hurting me too bad, so I can just sit here and go like this. It's only gonna take me 10 minutes, but I'll get there. And finally, it's dead. Please give me an item worth that time. It took me so long just to do this one stupid dungeon. And it looks like mostly just a bunch of pink. I've since augmented a few more of my items for absolute maximum lightning damage. So now we're up to 370%, which looks something like this. Basically everything being incinerated, even on legendary. Finally found something I'm looking for, an orange boom ring, which might be good because I don't think I have an orange ring yet. And I like the way it has boom in the name, that makes me think thunder and therefore lightning. And wouldn't you know it, the very same run I also found Wind Dancer's Elegance in a chest. I do also have extra 50% magic find thanks to a shrine, so that probably pushed me over the top. So maybe I need more magic find. I do need both a ring and armor for orange, so this is perfect. Hopefully these are decent. The boom ring is interesting. It won't directly complement my damage, but foes explode upon death, dealing 4% of their maximum health as ethereal damage. 4% of their maximum health is pretty big, but 4% to all the enemies around them probably won't make much of a difference. I'm going to store this one. And I also don't love the Wind Dancer's Elegance. When evading an attack, there's a 10% chance to spawn a health or mana pickup, adds 15% evasion. That's really about it, nothing great. And because it's been a while and we're definitely doing more damage, let's see how we compare now. So hitting him, we're definitely taking off much bigger chunks of health all at once now, already down to his name. And as I've been clearing dungeons, I have seen a few hits for over 1 million now. It simply says 1M. I remember a time when I thought doing 100,000 damage would be amazing. Yeah, this damage much higher because he's already dead. This used to take me a long time by itself. Plus, look at all my different enchantments that I'm getting. As I kill enemies, I just get stacked with everything. Also, I've realized that gems, the star gem if it's put into an amulet ring or accessory, gives you 25% magic find. I have all 3 of those. They are unsocketed right now, so if I give them the star sockets, we're getting extra magic. What I'm going to do is add 2 sockets to Terra's bindings because it's a red and not an orange item, so it's least likely to last a long time. Turns out the recipe is prismatic star, champion's crowns, and the item itself. We've added 1 socket. Can we get 2 or even 3 out of a single item? Nope, just 1. Well, since this is already giving me magic find, let's add a little bit more to it. So by simply adding these, we're going to get an extra 50% magic find, which is huge. And since I have the parts for it, I'm going to make an extra 20% lightning damage out of some of my items. Alright, so we just added a ton of magic find and lightning damage. It's hard to actually notice the damage at this point because I'm doing so much anyway to just destroy everything, but the magic find is most of what I'm after. So far that extra magic find seems to be making a difference because this was a single run. It's like 80% red items, only a few are stupid pink ones. And I found a ring that has a base power of 1223. I don't find ones like that very often at all. Definitely still having trouble finding the orange items, finding lots of reds. Oranges are still exceedingly rare. One of the things I did just find was the same armor I have now, but with 3 sockets. There's not a lot I can do with that, but I can at least give myself 10% extra movement speed. Because the faster I can kill things, the faster I can loot. Finally found another orange, and it came from a statue of all places. It's definitely interesting. As it's not particularly great for my build, but I could definitely make it so, and it has 1548 base damage, which is a record for me. But I'm curious, since it boosts my satellite attack so much, what happens if I combine it with my legendary that gives me 4 satellite? Plus this is supposed to make all my satellites spawn in pairs. Does that mean I get 8 satellites if I use this? I think my satellites are going to do a ton of damage now, considering this alone gives them 200% damage and the other item gives that 100% damage. So in theory, that's 400% damage. So let's get an idea of what that's going to look like. I'm going to walk up to some enemies and not even attack them, because I want to get an idea of just how strong my satellites actually are and if this is a worthy build or not. It's actually able, like, they're killing things. They're killing things pretty easily. This is definitely interesting, because this is all them. I'm not doing anything. If I add my damage to everything dies extra fast. So naturally we need to put this to the test now against the final boss again. Alright, this should be a little bit faster than last time. Even my satellites alone are doing lots of damage. But there we go, already below the name mark. Almost down to half health already. Alright, we're gonna stand right in the fire. Never mind, it's gone, but we're tough enough that we can. And look at that health drop. This is so much damage compared to where we started with. Cool. And let me guess, nothing good. Well, maybe next time.